Welcome gamers to Stardeus. My name is Daz Tactic. Welcome to the channel and welcome to this, I guess it's going to be a one-off video. I just wanted to sort of show the game actually. It's a really cool, almost, it feels like a city builder the way it sort of does it, but it's more like a spaceship builder. Particularly if you play the default sort of start, which is essentially your spaceship has been completely obliterated. So you got the different component parts in through this side. Sorry, I'll just unclick those things. So this is the actual spaceship that we had. It's been ripped apart. We've got objectives of trying to protect the humans in this stasis array. There's also going to be some humans alive over here, I think, just having a quick look at what's around. But I thought I'd just play for maybe an hour, just so you can sort of see what the game is like. I'll sort of rattle forward ahead, faster than what the game is trying to get us to do, because it does what it does very well. Very well, actually. I've covered this once before, some time back, but this is, I'm really liking what I'm seeing at the moment. It's really nice what they've actually done. So there's all sorts of different starts, the way it does work out. It's sort of like, it's a random start, but with the same objectives that pretty much when you do play this wrecked scenario. There are other scenarios as well. Have a quick look to see the component pieces. So we've got 6 sections to the ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are some little minor sections there which aren't really part of what they consider to be sections. So what we have to do is try to make a functioning spaceship out of all of this as well, and then go and look for a place to drop off our human colonists in the in stasis. So we've got a couple of humans that have actually that have come back to basically they've there we go. We've got Call in through this side. And where's this? Usually 2. Vincent, there's the other one. So there's usually 2 at the start. You can change the parameters as well really easily in the game if you're sort of wanting to sort of change things around a little bit. It sort of works very well. The first thing though is we're over here. Now we've got the ship's computer is really what we are. That's who we are essentially. We need to then use our robots, and there's 3 robots. We've got an actual construction robot back in through this side. Press control. Does it give me any information? Not really, no. So the actual robot itself can't move in space. It can only really move on the actual surface. The other 2, though, we've got a carrier drone, which carries things to be built, and also then we have a second one over through here, which is a construction drone. Now, both of these can actually move across across space, so we sort of don't have to worry too much about that one. But the first thing we have to do is to create a charge station for our robots, and it just goes through the steps. And the game does a really good job of its tooltips, but also of just the progression. Anyway, we're just going to rattle forward with this. I'm just going to right click. We're going to go to the build menu, going to go to electricity, going to go and grab this connector. I'm just going to grab a connector and bring it down to say here will do. That will then just go off. I'll just speed up time. This one will go off and pick up the titanium that's required. So titanium plate is now going to be added in there, and then the copper wire. The builder drone then goes forward and starts to actually then go and construct this particular piece. Once that's actually then done, we can then go and do other things. Now you can see there's no research being done at the moment. I'm going to be rushing ahead a little bit with different things, but I also really should explain how things actually do work. So I will spend a bit of time, almost not a tutorial, but just to give a bit of an indication. A connector connects electrical devices on the ship, and this is really, and also it connects the computer to different things as well. So it's power and computing power. Oh, not even computing power, that's a wrong terminology for it, but it just means that our the ship's computer can then start to function and take control. For example, back over here, you'll see that there's all these little sort of no connection to the ship computer back over here, but it's still actually functioning the way it needs to function. They've still got electricity coming out of this particular slot, which is being fed by this particular matter reactor. The matter reactor is going into that particular floor connector, and then the floor connector then goes off and feeds everything else around the place. But this is all separate to where our computer is. So our computer is back over through here, and we have to go and connect up all these different things. Let's just unpause this until this one comes forward. There we are. Now if I just go and grab the connector and drag it across to here, one thing I might do before we even look at this, I'm just going to go and click on it. You can see that, well actually this is just purely a connector. It can have up to 8 different connections. So let's just go across into there. So we've now got one connection. And now if we have a look at the actual electrical parts of the ship, we'll then sort of find that ultimately we're going to have 10 kilowatts in our grid that's going to be sort of now available to us. One thing we also want to do is connect across this battery, just so we can start to get the battery coming up and getting powered up. So the battery is now at 100% charge. It's only got a 50 kilowatt charge on it. So if we do run out of any electricity, we can then sort of make use of that. Next things we need to build is a matter reactor is the next thing we have to go and build. So again, right click, build, electricity, matter reactor. There it is there. Let's just go and throw that there, for example. So the carrier drone will just go off and pick up the different component pieces and just zip around, load it into there. So we need titanium plate, we need transistors, and we need copper wire. Once that's done, our robot will then come back down and start to construct this. What I might just quickly do while we're doing all of this as well is just come back across and grab our recharge station, which is what we're going to ultimately be needing to do after this. And so the reactor, and we'll have a look at this in just a second. So the reactor now has come back through, but it's not connected to the electricity grid. So if we just go and drag from there to the connector, it's now connected, but there's now another warning symbol. It hasn't been configured. So if we go and click on it, you'll see it, the fuel is not configured. We can fuel it with anything really, but the most prevalent thing around is steel plate. So we'll select that, and that way it can just then be powered up using steel plate. So there's now a request to drag things into there. This one is still actually working on hauling materials in for this one, but eventually it will then go off and start to haul the steel plate into there as well. There we go. Actually, this one here has done exactly that. So now when we have a look at it, we've now got, in this location, we've got 20 kilowatts coming back in. And so the total of our electricity now is going to be 30 kilowatts. We don't have any great drain. Let's now talk a little bit about computing power. So if we go across to the research tab through this particular side, we've got a few different areas. So going from construction, which we've already got the first one, computing, science, economy, energy, space travel, technology, and biotech, and entertainment with an unknown one on the end there. Now science, actually, which one do we want? Computing is sort of going to give us the ability to then get more research done, but we won't start there. What I want to start with in this run through is the winch, because I want to start to bring the component pieces or the main parts of the ship back together again. So let's add that one to the queue. Now this is, if we have 10 kilowatts of extra power, then it's going to take 24 hours of game time to be able to then do this particular research. So at the moment we've got 30, which is fine, so we're ahead of where we need to be. Also, you'll see that it's like this is the amount of active memory required during the research, depends on the research complexity. And so this one's a complexity of 7, and we do actually have our memory, we have 8, so we can do up to 8. Also, this is actually the storage, so permanent storage required to keep the research results memorized. To do this one, we need 5. We've got 32, and we've got 10 already allocated, and those 10 will be from this one here, and the other one that we had, which was over here. So that's the 10 that we sort of ended up with. And so they're the things we need to be concerned with. So we're thinking, okay, well, where's this memory coming from? You know, like where is that in the ship? And so there will be, somewhere on the ship will be an active memory slot. There will be other things around as well that aren't actually activated. Like this one through here, for example, is a disk module. Actually, what it may even be is, it may even just be the this thing in here. If we have a look at the ship computer, yeah, it's got the built-in CPU module of 8 terahertz and a module there of 8 EB as well. So, but there should be another one that gives us extra somewhere else as well. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure where that actually is. What we'll do though, let's go and bring this one across. So what I can do is I can just say, okay, I want you to relocate this one over in around where we're sort of doing all of our bits and pieces back over this other side. So we'll move this one across and we can then connect that one up. That will give us even more storage. Other things we want to do is we do want to go and get connections across to this area. And if we can connect up this power source, this one here is actually going to have like the matter reactor there. I think if we go and have a look, I don't know if it'll tell us there. Yeah, grid 0 is asked. Grid 1 is, it's using 12 of the 20 kilohertz, so we could actually make better use of that one. Now, I'm just going to run ahead a little bit. We also need to connect this one up as well. So let's just go across and build. I'm sort of trying to think about which way we're going to do this, but if we just go across to the, I'll just right click, build electricity, and get another connector, as long as it's within that circle. So we're just on that circle there. So just on the inside. So let's just go and place this one into this side. This will then allow us the connection that way. In fact, if I go down to there, because what I can then also then do is come back across to the stasis area and actually finish that one off as well. So we could actually sort of build that one into there, for example. But let's just do it bit by bit. Get the pieces connected. So they're just building, getting everything ready. This one's coming back up. So that's now been set. Now, if we have a look at the research, we can see there we've got 10 of 32, and we're using now all 7 memory slots for the winch. And we do actually have excess power, which is great. I mean, we're going to need more power with what we're actually trying to do here. Let's go and connect this up to here. So that then brings us in with even more of the, what is it? Where is it? This module, so it's 24ZB. So this is going to then enhance our, actually it's got 32 there at the moment. If we just let it go for a few seconds and then just try it. Yes, now up to 56. So we've got a lot more storage. Not that we need that. There may be other things as well. Okay, let's now talk a little bit about the inventory around on the ship and other things that we can then go and do. By the way, that's another derelict ship underneath there that we're going to be able to raid once we get to the position to be able to travel through space. We can't do that just yet though. So this is the inventory back in through this side. So we've got a few different things we can have a look at here. These are just the basic inventories that we sort of have around the place. Like, you know, there's an energy rifle somewhere, survival meals, space helmets. There is a reactor upgrade, which I might just go and find where that is. That's over through here. We will be told about these, but I'm just going to go and grab this one. I'm going to go and relocate. So just press the O key and we'll relocate that up into near where we've got our this one in through here where we're sort of doing everything. So let's just go and move that one up to there. The others one that will then go off and grab that. I actually prefer to play this one slowly, but I'm sort of mindful of trying to get this thing sort of working. Let's just go across. That's now got 5 connectors, 1 connected down through there. We can now connect back up into here as well. So we can sort of go and think, okay, well, let's go and connect that to there. And what will end up happening is all of these now are under the ship's computer control. So we can now sort of, we've now got control of all of this. And if we now go and have a look at everything, we've just got one grid, although it hasn't sort of kicked in yet with the power of what's actually happening. We're just going to build the other power situation down this way. So we'll just go across to, that's about as far down as we can do it. Okay, we'll do that one. Here it comes with that upgrade. So it's just left it over here. I'm just going to go across to this one. We're going to do an upgrade and we're going to install the one that's nearby, the reactor efficiency upgrade. Select that one. And so that's now has been designated to be upgraded. So this bot will then come back across and do the upgrade. It'll grab that one and just go back in there. So this one is now being built. We'll connect this one across as well. There we go. So let's now connect this one over and unpause. And so we now have the connection. We can now just drag this one across and we then can basically get the stasis pod. Now you can see there's a few humans that have been killed just as they do come out of these stasis pods. Now we've got, this is pretty much full of humans, it's undamaged. So there's a lot of people aside there. How are we going with our research? Only 26%. So we need to get that one up and firing before we do too much else. And then we can start to bring the component pieces back. So build a matter reactor, we've done that one. Build a connector matter reactor, we've done that one as well. Provide a charge station, we need to connect that one up to our area. That's quest is now completed. And we get a technology boost of plus 50% with that one. So we just click on OK. So new quest, connect to the stasis array. We've already just done that one as well, but this unlocks computing. Great. And connect to the survivor area, which we've also done, so we get 33% of hygiene. So what's all this? And a new quest, pressurize the stasis array. We get biotech of plus 33%. So, yep, so we've done all these. Right, pause for a second, just by pressing the space bar. You can see we're filling up. This one's getting quite full, but there's not a real lot else we need to be sort of doing in around where the ship's computer happens to be. And I think we've got to think about where we actually start to build everything. And I might build it from here. I'm just thinking whether we start from back in here where it's fairly central. But I think we're going to be okay building across, like, you know, pulling this part up into where we actually are. All right, so we've got that all done. If we have a quick look at the research, you'll find that we're sort of like a little way along now with other areas. Like we're 50% of the way. Computing is we've now got, so we can now build memory modules and disk modules. Science nothing's happened with that one just yet. So I'm not seeing much there. There we go, half of the technology. Might add this one to the queue as well, just so we've sort of got that one sitting underneath it. We can't do this one without getting more active memory. Now another thing we can do with this, I'll just right click and come back into F2, which is this one here. We can go to materials and just see, like there will be certain things where it will sort of show anything we can find, but it'll show us things we don't actually have as well. And so we can have a bit of a look to see if we can find anything to do with the actual memory on the ship itself. But I don't think we can. No, it looks like there's nothing much else there. So we may have to build another area so we can just keep on trying to get more and more of the of everything. So have a quick look at the electrical grid. So we've got, oh wow, we're actually right at the limits now, 48 out of 50. So we're sort of we've got to be a bit careful here. We're going to need to get even more power. So I'll build another power station down through this side. Yep, so research computer. We're going to be trying to get the research fairly soon. Right, so more power, please. We're getting more things, like we've now got computing that we can actually just go and build. But we'll just go and grab another of the compact reactors. Don't think there was any other reactors around the place. Let's just unpause, let that one be built. You don't want to queue up too many things, but you know, we're doing okay here. Sometimes it's like there's nuclear power. Actually, there's a nuclear power battery there. So nuclear cell. I might just relocate that up as well, up to our main area. So they're building this one now. This thing's almost full. Drag that one across. We're now at 7 of 8. And the fuel we're going to use is steel plate again. So that's all connected now to the network. I might build another connector back down into this side. You can see there the actual power of the bots is starting to sort of diminish, but they'll go off and automatically recharge again fairly soon. And what we might do is we might actually just go back to the computing as well. So if we just go back into computing, this is the storage, this is the actual computing power. So let's go across and we'll throw that in next to the other area. So they'll just go across and start to build up the computing power as well. So have a quick look at our charging now. So now we've got 48 of 70. So we do actually have the extra that was required for the winch, so we can get the winch done fairly quickly. If you go too fast, it's things like this, for example. This one here really does drain. It drains 25.5 kilowatts, so it drains an awful lot. Now, one of the things we have to do is actually essentially just move all this off. I'm just going to go and relocate anything that's in the way. So that way it'll just be out of the way for when we sort of bring things through. Let's just soil. So we need to sort of establish this as a stasis area. So I'm just going to go across. I'm just going to right click, build. We now go back to the walls and doors and stuff. So let's just go to the walls. Grab another wall up there, and I'll just put a wall across this side. And just drag it if I wanted to, and then ultimately down this way as well. Now we probably want to put a door in one of these, so we'll just go and yeah, no, we won't worry about that one. Actually, I'll just go and not deconstruct. I'll just go to cancel. I'll just put some doors in amongst this lot as well, just so we end up with different doors. So build doors, because this ultimately will be fairly central in the ship itself. Okay, that's fine. So they'll build that. The winch is at 94%. We should order some repair and deconstruction tasks. I won't worry about those just yet. We've still got too much that's going on. They're getting unhappy. Okay, we've just researched the winch. So we'll have a quick look at research, because now we should be doing the next one, which is the where was it? We've got the winch. Was it under energy? Nope. Can't remember which one we were doing next. It's the communicator. We don't need to get temperature control on things, so maybe we'll just add this one to the queue. Oh, we're doing technology anyway, actually, I think. Although, hang on, is that where we were? Yeah, sorry, we've just done this, doing this one now. All right, so that one will be sort of actioned. Now, the winches, the way that these actually work to be able to then pull the components of the ship together, you've sort of got to try to figure out, okay, if I drag it up, where is it going to be dragged to? And so I do want it to sort of end up being more up this way than sort of straight across. And it will actually try to do this. So I'm going to try to, and this thing here I think is just floating around. This is a reinforced wall. It may stop what we're trying to do, but let's just see if we can actually do it anyway. This may be worth deconstructing this. We can always, I guess, have a bit of a look to see what actually does happen. So we'll go across, we're just going to right click. We now have a new area, the special, and we have a winch. The winch needs to be connected to power. So I'm just going to go and throw that one up to there. And also it's easier if we can do this on wherever we're going to be, where we've got our main robot. They'll then be able to build that one a bit more easily, particularly if the others are off doing other things. And then we go down to special, and we need a winch anchor as well. So if I go to there, it's then going to try to drag everything from that point up to that point. So I think I like the idea of that being the direction that we want to go. Let's go and pull these apart back in through this side. So we'll just go across to deconstruct, and we'll just go and select both, those components there to be deconstructed. All right, unpause. Away we go again. It's a good fun game. Like it's quite relaxing. It's quite interesting. It's a bit of a puzzle. It is a bit repetitive, I guess, the more you play it. But I think it's still early access, so I think that the game is going to have a lot going for it at some point. So that one's now coming back in to do this one. This one's still trying to go off and get the materials, which I'm guessing the other. Where's our good friend? Oh, by the way, each task has got like an ability that it has to be done. So it's not constructed. If I click on something and then press Control, we then get other information. You can see required skills construction too. Now, all of my robots do actually have that. I think that's just wandering around. If we have a look at the skills, there we go. So it's just going to charge itself up now. But the construction robot, you can see skills 3. If I go and click on that one, it's got construction of 3, science of 3 of 5, and mining of 3 of 10 as well. So these all do different sorts of things. This guy here doesn't have the same. This one's only got construction 2 of 9 and mining 1 of 3. So it's not fantastic. Even the humans have got like different abilities. And if we have a look at their skills, this one has got construction 2 of 10, science of 5, cleaning of 2, etc., etc. By the way, with the humans, while we're just waiting for all that stuff to be built, you do actually have things, for example, like the temperature. And so you can see in through here, the temperature here is 1.4. It gets up to around 20 in around here, which is quite comfortable. And then it's really, really cold as it sort of goes beyond there. So this is too big an area to sort of maintain the heat coming from the main heater, which is back in through there. And the oxygen levels as well is sort of dwindling away. Like it gets, it's all, the oxygen's at 20.9. But if we made this into a smaller area, I think it would actually end up helping it. We can then sort of see the insulation, and this is just a massive area. So there's a big area through there for the heat, and then we also have the how much it can sort of control different things as it goes through. Now, the stasis. Let's just go and connect that door up. That one's still not been built yet. So we've got a lot going on. Okay, we've now done the research complete in technology. Let's have a quick look and see. So we're now doing science. So that science is the next one left. So we'll just keep on going with that one. But I might build across to here. I'm just going to go and press O. So the humans are sort of now doing what they have to do to sort of try to get things done. Let's just see if they can, I don't know if they're going to be able to do this or not. So we now actually have things, for example, like storage. Actually, storage is important. I might go and grab a storage unit and build that one up. I'm sort of probably building too many things at the moment. Let's build the storage where? It's not really going to sort of work back in around here. I'll throw it over the side of the ship. So they have to move stuff out of the way to be able to then go and build that one. But let's just also just go back across with the build. Go that way, and we'll also then just go and build a door. Okay, that'll be fine. By the way, there's sort of like dead robots and things around the place as well. I won't go into too much detail about all that. So they have now decompiled or deconstructed most of the stuff that was in the way there. We've got a little bit of stuff that's over here as well. Let's just go and deconstruct that. So anything that is in the way. All that stuff is going to be in the way when we start to try to pull things across. Everything else looks okay. We won't deconstruct that one. We might just move the solar panel. That one should be okay back over there. Yeah, so the humans are now picking things up. They're starting to build the walls themselves, which is great, so they can sort of look after that, while the rest of our guys just do their bits and pieces. Now, this has now been connected. This one's okay. That one's not connected. Let's just go and connect this one across, and then we can start connecting these up as well. This will give us more... hang on, here we go. Connect something while time is paused. Yep, so it just takes a bit of time. I love the tooltips. It really does explain things very, very well. There's only one EB, so we're only sort of just getting like one extra little area. Let's go and power up the winch. So the winch is now powered, and we do actually have now the anchor point. So all we need to do is we can have multiple anchor points, but it's easier just to build one and then just move it around. If we go and grab this one, the winch hook and go and reel in. And if we had multiple anchor points, we could then sort of see what it is. But this is the angle it's going to go. So it's going to drag this portion of the ship across to this portion. So I reel in, confirm yes. Actually, it didn't quite work. It worked the other way. Didn't quite have everything match up. We can just try that again if we wanted to. Oh, hang on, that was the edge there. So if we just go and deconstruct that, get rid of that one. That way we can just keep on sort of moving it up a little bit. So they're just building that one. Just let them continue on. Go a bit faster again. And then once we do this, we can then sort of start to get like the internals of the ship built as we sort of bring things across. So I'll let them sort of do what they're doing. Yeah, I hope this guy's not too cold. Yeah, he's in an uncomfortable temperature situation at the moment, but he is building things, so he's just going to have to make do with it. Now there are space suits around which we could actually bring across. Might just pause it and we might just go and find them. So F2, space suits, where are they? There we go, we've got a grey, we've got a white. Just go and find them. Where's the other one? That's one over here as well. So we'll just go across the space suit, just press O. The colour doesn't matter, that's just cosmetic. Bring that one across to where the humans are. Just go to F2 again. Reinforced floor, click again, O. Okay, F2. We've only got one helmet. So we need the suit and the helmet. So O. Yeah, we need to build the storage unit, which is what's going to be happening down here. I might ditch this one for now. So they're supposed to be stockpiled. Just cancel the storage of those. We've got other little things in through here. That's just a mini planter. There's some areas where the humans can sort of sit down and enjoy themselves. This one's not quite connected, so we'll just go and drag the connection back into that door. Quick, get inside. He's going to die if he stays out there. Okay. You idiot, you idiot. So he's now he's freezing, so he's actually gone and gone to sleep out in here. What we can do is actually open, I guess, keep open. Let's just do that. Where's our other human? Vincent's back over here. Come on. Allow the heat to get through. This is important. He's sort of on the wrong side. Don't know what he's thinking. Yeah, medical. Mood is not good. Yeah, I saw medical come up there a second ago. Health is okay. He's not moving. The mood is terrible. He's sleeping. I'm just going to have to keep this open for a little while just to allow the oxygen to get into this other zone. I'll just wait for everything to sort of be set up in here, then we'll sort of just drag this part of the ship back in again. One thing we might be able to do is actually move... actually, no, I will wait. This one should be fixed up fairly soon. Yeah, this guy's still just going through and just disconnecting everything else that's around the place. So allow all that to happen. Is he back inside? Yeah, hang on, which one's that? That's Vincent, and that's Cal. Okay, so now we can just go back in and go back to the door and auto close. Good. All right, so they're not to go out that way. Just connecting this one up. Bring this one in, so we can just connect that one up just to get a little bit more solar power coming back in. It's only 3 kilowatts, but it's still power. Okay, we've now researched scientists. So we've now got the teleporter, but it's probably more the next step that we wanted to try to get. Like temperature control would be good, and atmosphere control. So we'll grab both of these. We'll add both of those to the mix. Good, they're taking this one apart. And then we can just bring this winch back in again. So we're trying to sort of construct and build the sections of the ship. So if we just go back to the winch, reel in that one there, it should just pull it up a little bit more. So we'll just go and confirm. There it is. So that's now, that's just sort of where I wanted that to be. Now in terms of getting this other one across, I'd like it to move as much into this corner here as possible, but I don't really want to move the winch around too much. We could also just bring in this whole portion of the ship back into where we are. So if we think about it, if we just go and drag maybe from this back end, or even back over here somewhere, back into this area, that may be okay, although we probably have to get rid of all of this. Let's see how we go. Maybe we just do it where we put the anchor point back in the middle there somewhere. So if we go back to the anchor point and we can just go and relocate. Again, I don't want to give too many instructions to all of my guys because they've got a bit to do, but let's just go and place this one in through here. So that will then eventually be moved across. And then we can just winch the other bits and pieces in. Now if we go back and have another look at the actual ship itself, we now actually have the component pieces. This is now one component piece. And what I might do is I might start to build the flooring back in through this other side as well. So if we just go back across to the right-click, construction. What have we got there? We've got special. We now have teleporters as well, which we won't worry about just yet. Just get the flooring. And I'll just go with the basic floor. This will then allow my other robot to be able to sort of work on this section of the ship. We also have some things have been a little bit just damaged, so we can just go back and repair anything that's got like an area like this. That one's damaged. Let's go and fix that up as well. Again, I don't want to do too much at this point in time. Let's go and speed up time again. I don't know why this guy is not coming down to help out. What's he up to? Idle. You can click on them and then control click if it can do it. No, it needs to haul materials. Okay, so the hauling needs to be done before it can actually then go and do anything. Now we've got doors into each of those little areas. Oh, it's just picked up the gun. It's armed itself. Don't know why. But this one now does actually. This one is armed. I think it was the only one that the only gun that we actually had. So he's picked that one up. He's just repairing things as he goes. Where's our other robot? Oh, he's over here. What's he up to? He's hauling. Now we need to connect that up. That one's just going in for recharging. Now, this one's got a spacesuit on now, but doesn't actually have the helmet on. So not ideal. What about the other one? It's back in. Okay. Can't see the other human. Oh, he's asleep in there. There should be another one of those too somewhere out on the ship that we could just bring across. There it is. There's always usually one extra one of these. So if we just go and press O, and we'll just go and relocate this into this zone. This one's now coming through and actually making it so we can now get access across to these other zones. So there's the other guy. So he's now got his, he does have the spacesuit on, so he's actually outside doing things, which is good, helping out. And in the meantime, everything else is sort of working. I don't know if we can connect that one up. No, that's all right. Sure what that one's doing, picking up rubbish. Oh, here we go. We've got a incoming storage capsule, and this will then sort of land somewhere on the ship. Now, this can be full of good things. It can have humans inside it. It can have bugs and things. So what we might do is let's just see if it's if it is a human. We need to have it inside here. So let's just go across and press relocate. So it could be aliens that will attack us. Let's just relocate it to there, and then we'll open her up and see what's actually in it. So it could be dangerous. It probably would be better for us to have like an area like in here where we can sort of open it up, where we can still actually allow things to happen so we can actually have a pressurized but a secure area. It's just a window. So there's only like a single room in through there. Anyway, let's continue on. We'll see what actually happens. So with that one there, if we go and click on it, that's the carrier drone, that's the storage capsule. Let's just open it and see what we get. I don't think anything was inside it. I think it was empty. Oh, it was lithium in there. Okay, so we end up with just lithium. That's okay. That's okay. So that's all sort of happening. Let's have a quick look and see how we're going with our energy. Yeah, we're still a fair way ahead of where we need to be. So we've almost got this thing now built, and this will then give us the area that we actually have in through that side. So enclose the stasis array. We've now got the first one of those. So pressurize a room with the stasis array. So we now need to essentially consult the air tightness, insulation and rooms overlay for this one through here. Now hang on, have we finished off? We had moved this one across to here. This one is now ready to go as well. Let's just give this one a bit of a go. So we'll now just go and reel in that particular one. We'll just go yes, confirm. And that's now been brought into this side. Now, if we get rid of that one, actually this whole thing has come across, that's all right. I might just ditch this one. So just decommission that bit of it. So we're slowly starting to bring the bits of the ship together. Now the stasis array, we were going to have a bit of a look at this one through here. Now this one is actually, we've now pulled out where we are a little bit further out than where I wanted to be honest. I should have brought this one up first, because this one is now going to end up back in there unless I drag it to here first. Let's do that. So let's go and grab the, now we do actually have power over here. So we do actually have, although now we're too far away. We need to get another connector. So we need to go back to electricity connector, and that way we just be able to get both lots. So let's just go and place that one there. Let them build that. It's going back for recharging by the looks of things. Oh no, it's going to disconnect that one. So we'll now just go and reconnect this one back over. We'll do it here to start with. And we'll research atmosphere has completed. We've still got another one coming. So we'll just go across, press O. So we no longer have the power in this area, which is a bit of a problem. So we'll go and get ready to move that one across. So that's now been positioned, ready for the next one. That one's being connected up. Then we can reconnect all of these. Here we are. Okay, so this one also has to now be connected up to that one. So this is actually now, they've just been removing all of these across. We'll go this way, reel in that one there, confirm. And it didn't quite do what we wanted, but probably enough for us to be able to change some things. If we just pause that for a second, think about where we want to do these next ones. So that's actually probably okay. If we just go across and relocate again, that's the winch anchor, O. And so the winch anchor here, we've got power going all the way through there. Got that one in the middle there, which would sort of be okay if we put the winch anchor way out over this side. I think that will still work out okay. We should just be dragged up the side there a little bit. Let's just give that a go. Just wait for this winch anchor to be taken. There it goes. Great. Okay, so then we can, this one's still got power, so we can just go back to the winch. Reel in. That's okay, it's sort of taken it out. Now this one's now further away than what it was before. We can still drag that one across. Don't know what's happened there, we'll just unpause for a second. It's connected. Oh, there we go. Oh, we don't have enough power. We don't have enough power. Oh no, there we go. Power's now caught back up again. Yeah, no, we've got enough power there, so that's actually all okay. So that's now the front of the ship. There's not much else we can do with this, so we'll now just go and move. What we want to now do is probably drag this section up into the middle here. So we've got the main winch is up through this side. I think we still keep it pretty much over here somewhere. So let's go and grab the winch. Drag that over to there. And this one as well. And then just grab this portion of the ship. Okay, wait for those to be connected. And then that will be the start of a ship, basically. Now these, I think, are now disconnected. If we go and have a look at the colours, here they are. Okay, so these are now disconnected, which means that we could probably drag this one towards this portion and just have it all connected back up in this other side. So if we ultimately we get the winch again to try to just change the angle slightly, so we end up shuffling up into this other wall. We'll get there. We'll get there. So they're all off going doing their own bits and pieces. Now we need to pressurize the stasis array, which means I think what have we got there? That's a storage capsule. Let's just go and open this one up and see what we've got inside there. But we're probably going to need to get some electrical stuff. Don't know what was in there. Titanium plate. No, nothing much. Okay, that's going off to connect that one up. Winch is now connected. And the other one is now back over here, so we can just go and do a reel in. That looks good to me. And really it's just going to be a matter of now just dragging the next one across. So if we've got this one through this side, if we drag it down a little bit, that would actually be okay. So let's just go across to the anchor point and drag it over this way. And we can now just go back into this one, reel in. There we are. Achievement unlocked, one piece. Connect the wrecked ship pieces back into one piece. There we go. So we've actually done this one. So we now got like a very ugly looking ship. You can see that there's portions there that we should have been like back this other way, but at least we now have a single ship, which we can now start to sort of then go and rebuild. But I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. This just gives enough of a feel of the actual game itself. It's got a lot of polish about it, actually, with where it is as an early access game. It's good fun. As you can see, there's lots to do with this particular mission. There are all sorts of other missions as well, like that you can actually sort of go and do. There's one where you can just start off with a spaceship and then travel around. I don't know if it's as much fun, to be honest. I haven't really played that one much, but like this is fun for the first few times because it's a bit of a puzzle, trying to sort of figure out what to do to sort of try to save everyone. But it is repetitive. So this bit of it is repetitive, but this is just one of the missions. But as I say, there are all sorts of other missions. If we just go back out, if I just go and exit to the main menu as an example, so I'll save and exit. So what it actually does have, and by the way, the updates are coming thick and fast, like they come every day or two, like it really is very, very quick. If we have a quick look at the new game, so we played as Wrecked, that was the one that we actually sort of played, but you can also play as Leaving Earth, so you start with a small platform and tons of materials, so you start off with a very, very small proto ship, and then you need to start to sort of just build an actual ship in around it, and then move off from there. And again, you can randomize the actual layout of the ship that you're going to be sort of starting with. It's very well done, very, very well done. You've got empty ship. Now, some of these are unfinished, so they're still sort of working with these. Empty ship is basically a finished ship. It doesn't have everything connected, so you have to sort of then connect it all up. You've got random ship, so similar to the empty ship, I guess. Again, you can sort of randomize the shape of your actual ship itself. It's beautifully done, and I hope that there's more different ways of playing the game. And I think of games like RimWorld, because it does feel like a RimWorld sort of game, except that you're building a spaceship. So it's got that same sort of feel about it, but it doesn't have the same breadth of experience that playing RimWorld has got. Now, of course, RimWorld's been around for a long time now, but even at the very, very start of RimWorld, there was that promise of a different experience every time you played it. This one doesn't quite get there yet. I'm hoping it will. But anyway, I thought I'd just show it because it's it's a game I've been sort of keeping on coming back to it every so often, not very often, but every so often. And a few of these other sorts of starship building games I've been just having a look at. For me, this is actually probably as good as any of them now, the way it sort of has come together. There's another one, I forget what it's called, I think The Last Starship. I find that one too complex. It doesn't actually explain itself very well. So it's a good, interesting game. That is more open, but it's an interesting game. But I prefer the polish of this one with the information that's provided. But again, interesting just the way the different games actually sort of do operate. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.